Are you a liberal or conservative? I don't think that I would fall into either of those categories. I think that as soon as you start attaching labels to yourself like that, you are heading down a pretty dangerous road. I definitely have a lot of conservative values culturally, but not necessarily when it comes to the hardcore policy and politics and stuff like that. Does that mean that you're a conservative? I don't know. Like, your cultural values are more important than your actual political affiliation now. If you are financially liberal and pro-choice, but don't believe and agree with progressive-y, wokey agendas, and that 3-year-olds should be able to choose their own gender, that means apparently that you're a conservative, which is kind of strange, right? Because conservatism and progressivism, or like left and right, were typically around about class. It was a distinction between class. But now it's not. It's a distinction between culture and which team you're foam fingering for.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Mika Reaction Reviews, where we react and review to things on the internet. Yes, another no-face video. The on-camera videos will be back shortly. I decided to use this content creators clip to sort of usher in the conversation that I've been wanting to have on this channel for a minute here. And I kind of have had it throughout videos when I talk about tribalism and tribalistic thinking. And I've had people say I was conservative in the comment section. I've even had people encourage me to be more conservative, like go really, really right. And even under the idea of you'll get so many more views and you'll make so much money and you'll blow up if you just go completely conservative. Like, I give a fuck about being a grifter. Go watch your other grifting, talking conservative heads for that entertainment. I'm not a grifter, and I never will be, because I have actual principles, morals, and values. But I've never classified myself as a conservative my entire life, and I still do not. And I think people get offended by that as well. Like, what's wrong with being a conservative? Like, don't be a liberal about it and get all in your feelings. There's nothing wrong with being a conservative, but I understand because the mainstream media does demonize conservatism and Republicans and Trump supporters quite a bit. But I'm not. Like, I would be lying and I would be a grifter if I claimed to be a conservative, because I am not a conservative. I never actually ever claimed to be a liberal, even though I felt like for the most part socially I had more of a liberal social sort of outlook, or even personality feels more liberal. I'm counterculture. I travel as a lifestyle that is not normal, when it comes to tradition, what men and women traditionally do with their lives. So I've always been counterculture. I was a punk, grungy rock kid in high school. I was a theater kid. I've always been counterculture, and I still am, and I like being counterculture. That doesn't mean I think the entire culture should be counterculture. I think that breaks the foundation of society up. I think the only reason why counterculture can thrive is because there is a traditional foundation to thrive off on. There needs to be some sort of stability in society, and I recognize that sometimes that tradition, like a stable traditional two-parent household, is what helps society be stable. I can recognize that by still being in my own counterculture bubble. So I never claimed to be liberal or conservative, even when I was in high school, and before I was even at the age of voting, I always said I was an independent. Ever since I was in high school, I always said I think the left and the right are the same, because they're tribalists. They think with the tribe. They don't think for themselves. They're not individual. And I am also a proud individualist. I'm very much of an individualist. And you might say, well, individualism falls under sort of libertarian or conservatives. A lot of people even think libertarian is more of a conservative idea. But because of my individualism, this is another reason why I always claim to be independent, and I never really wanted to be under right or left, because I think once you get into these tribes, once you put these labels on yourself, you will at some point, not everybody, but a lot of people who are in the extremes or the fanatics areas of these political ideologies and these labels, you will indeed stop thinking for yourself, and you will just become a sheep. No matter what side you're on, you will just root for your team. You will just be a tribalist, and you will stop being a critical thinker. Being a critical thinker, being analytical, being intelligent, and being an individualist, having freedom is way more important to me than having a political label. Now, that doesn't mean I would never vote conservative. A matter of fact, if I was in America right now, I probably would vote for more conservatives or Republican candidates and probably vote for more conservative values, because I think at the moment the West is in balance, and balance is also a very big part, very important to me. I believe in balance, and right now I think there needs to be a balance. Not that I think the Republicans would do anything anywho, but I think there needs to be more of a balance when it comes to policies and just systems, society, the education system, the entertainment industry, and stuff like that. I do think it is a little bit weird if you think children shouldn't be groomed and exploited. If you don't think that, adolescents should be able to cut off healthy body parts, and or being obese is healthy, or there's no difference between biological men and women, therefore biological men should be on women's sports. When you have commonsensical thinking, somehow it makes you conservative. I'm sorry to say, conservatives, you don't get to own and have common sense. I'm sorry. Common sense is free for everyone to have, and everyone should have it, and just because you have common sense should not mean that you are conservative. I think a lot of people, if they were really honest with themselves, aren't actually conservatives when it comes down to it. I think a lot of people felt politically homeless, and a lot of people felt like they had to pick a side or go somewhere. And so a lot of people who are probably most likely liberal in life but maybe conservative in other ways, culturally, like he said, kind of went conservative because they felt like they needed political home. I think when it came down to it, a lot of people realized they're not as conservative as they're claiming to be. There's this YouTuber called The Black Conservative, and he's very strict on his definition of conservatism, and I'm not saying he's allowed to gatekeep what conservatism is, and I do think a lot of people are trying to sort of shift the idea of conservative to make it more inclusive, to get people to sort of join the conservative party, but at the end of the day, those people are not conservative. He wouldn't look at someone like Blair White, who is a transgender conservative YouTuber, as conservative. He wouldn't look at someone like Dave Rubin, who is a gay man who's married to another man and has a child, as a conservative, because he doesn't feel like those are conservative beliefs. And guess what? I actually agree with him. I don't think those are conservative beliefs, and I think at the end of the day, Blair White is not really a conservative. I just think she needs a political home to be in, so the conservatives have tucked her in. But once and for all, when this culture war does end and things swing back to the right, a lot of people who claim to be conservative now, I think, will kind of quietly step out of the conservative bubble and kind of go into maybe libertarian, independent, or a different type of sort of political genre. But I don't have to be conservative to support and promote conservative policies and beliefs. I definitely don't have to be conservative to support and promote commonsensical policies and beliefs. Why am I putting this out there? I'm putting this out there, first of all, I don't want anyone to have an idea of me and then be disappointed in the future. I have mentioned this throughout my other videos, that I am not conservative, that I'm not religious, that I am a hippie who travels and do microdosing on psilocybin. I just also happen to be intelligent, what seems to be conservative for some reason, and I also happen to really want to protect children from being exploited, and I also happen to be a critical thinker, but I'm also independent. But I'm putting it out there so you guys, my audience, don't ever get it twisted or feel like they're being let down, or I'm lying, or I'm grifting, or whatever. I just think for some reason we live in a society that's very binary in thinking, not to use a leftist term, but binary in thinking is like black and white. You're either this or you're that, and I've never been black and white. That's never been my personality. And I'm also putting it out there for people who do feel like they're kind of being forced into a political side or political label. You can still vote conservative. You can still vote for Donald Trump. You can still vote for conservative values without labeling yourself something that you don't really feel like you fit in. And so making that home for people, a platform for people who kind of in the middle somewhere, there's somewhere they can speak to or relate to that isn't staunch conservative or Christian. And I'm also putting it out there because I am a very big advocate of I'm very anti-tribalism. I'm very anti-tribalism because I just see people on both sides lose their critical thinking skills, stop thinking for themselves, and become sheep. And I think no matter what side, no matter what political ideology that you're on, once you start doing that, it's still going to fuck society. Society will still crumble. We need a society and a system of critical individualist thinkers, not tribalist. my video. Let me know if you relate to any political affiliations down below, whether you're conservative, liberal, progressive, libertarian, independent, patriot, a nationalist, somewhere in the middle, a mixture, combination of things. You're still trying to figure out, you're politically homeless. Let me know in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course, it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is either join my brand new membership program, different levels, different tiers, different perks, or you can visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below, and links to all of the alternative platforms I'm on, my socials, including my Rumble, my Minds.com, my Odyssey, my Twitter, and all the links to all the other YouTube channels I have on this platform is in the description box below, and the community tab, and also in the about page of this channel. And if you like, you can super thanks. I also have a second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle and live abroad. If you'd like to know where I am in the world, you can go in the description box below. Also in the comment section, hit the link, go subscribe to my travel vlog channel, and follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. And you guys have an amazing day.